A few more thoughts, if you'll permit me, on the pop cinema multiverse. I've been having a lot of fun thinking about this lately. Currently, I've been thinking about the spectator's role in all of this and the way that it has evolved and kind of transcended in between the previous millennium and this one. As I mentioned in the previous video, in the 20th century, we were kind of stumbling through sequel franchises and breaking them, fracturing them, splintering them all the time in the name of doing something different or narcissistically putting our own stamp on something that was there before we came along, resulting in some very strange, very twisted franchise timelines, which I've been charting out, and I'm very excited to show you soon down the road here. But I've been thinking about the amazing liberation that has happened for audience members as a result of the established rules that we now have of the pop cinema multiverse. Basically, the power of head-canon. The concept itself of head-canon pretty much negates the necessity of the concept of canon to begin with. Because we now have this objective 2D, again, Labyrinth, I mentioned that I think in an earlier video, overview of these timelines, and we can jump between universes at will. Pretty neat. So basically the concept of canon is no longer sacred. Canon is in your head. The Matrix has just been opened up to you. Congratulations. And we, as audience members in the previous century, we interacted with the creation of these mythological franchises with the only thing that we had available to us at the time, which was our money and our attention. And these things dictated the way that these franchises would extend and the directions that they would go in based on what we went to see and what we didn't. These days we have a lot more power than that. I mean, obviously, I'm going to talk down the road about the way that criticism has evolved and how exciting that is, to me at least, specifically with the YouTubers. But right now, here in this video, I would rather focus on I guess the rise of fan fiction. Obviously there's a lot of it out there, and it's very hard to sift through to find the good stuff. But fan fiction has so much power now and so much potential thanks to the opening up of the global village that it can mutate into its own form of pop culture phenomena. Obviously the worst example and the most successful one, is 50 Shades of Grey. Thanks for that. Thanks for ruining the public's conception of the BDSM lifestyle. Jerks. But then you have something like the fan film Never Hike Alone, which is about an hour-long Friday the 13th fan film, which is definitely top-tier fan fiction that I've seen, and better than a lot of the sequels that were made in the 80s and 90s. So much so that from what I've been able to observe, and certainly in my own headcanon, Friday the 13th fans have pretty much adopted that. It's part of the mythology now. It's a standalone side story, and it's great. Check it out. It's on YouTube. It's free. And this is an incredibly exciting thing that, yeah, the Neo that is the lowly person sitting in the audience having all this stuff fed to them and who has assumed such a passive role for so long, you can now determine your own level of involvement. And you have every bit as much of a chance to be creative and positive and original in criticism as you do in actual creation, which is a very exciting thing as well.